Have you ever seen those ads talking about cheap divorce, cheap family law, cheap this, cheap that, and wondered to yourself, how can cheaper be better? Well, it's not. Today in this video, what we're going to talk about is the difference that a quality family law attorney can make for your case and how you'll end up saving thousands of dollars by investing in your divorce in the beginning rather than suffering the consequences of a bad attorney at the end. The first thing I want to talk with you about today is what is the difference between a good attorney and a not so good attorney. We don't like to call them bad attorneys because, not everybody wants to be bad. But a good attorney is going to sit down and truly be a partner with you throughout your entire case. They're going to ask you what you're looking from your case. They're going to listen to what you care about from your case. And most importantly, they're going to make a plan with you, with your end goals in mind, and with your family, your finances, and your future in mind. So when you're looking for a quality attorney, one of the questions you should ask is, what are you going to do for me? And while that seems simple, we must always remember that law is a business based off our service to you as the client. It is important what we are going to be able to do for you. So we're going to make a plan. And the first thing you're looking for is, how can I make a plan if I don't ask you questions? So you should expect your attorney to start asking you questions. When you say, what are you going to do for me? The next question should be, what do you want me to do? And from there, you can build a plan. You don't want some attorney that's going to just give you canned responses. You call in for your consultation, they say, hey, you've got a divorce, I do divorces, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and this is why I'm the greatest attorney to ever live, and they never once ask you what you want. So that's the first thing you want to look for. The second thing you want to look for is you want to see what sort of backup that attorney has. Do they have support staff? Are they running around trying to do consultations on their own? So what that means is, in trying to work on your case, they're also trying to sell legal services to other people to keep the firm going. You want an attorney that's only going to focus on the cases that they have in front of them. That way you know that the only thing they care about is the best possible outcome for their clients each and every time. The next thing you want to look at the Google reviews. It's very simple. We can't cheat Google reviews. No business can cheat Google reviews. Clients tell the truth. A happy client is going to go out there and leave positive Google reviews. An unhappy client is going to go out there and leave negative Google reviews. You should expect the law firm that you want to work with is going to have some positive Google reviews and some negative Google reviews. And when you look at those, you're just looking to see that most of them are positive. If every single Google review is positive, you might want to question how authentic they are. Because let's be honest, my mom could leave a Google review for me and it probably would be at least 4 stars. The next thing you want to ask your attorney is, how quickly are we going to get in court? One of the most costly mistakes that we see is trying too long to settle a case that can't be settled. And while that seems axiomatic to everything that you've heard so far, that, hey, we want to try to work together, hey, you get a better outcome by working together, or hey, you're not going to be happy with what happens in court. Let's be honest. You're not divorcing your spouse because y'all work together well, and you're not divorcing your spouse because y'all are friends. So if you can come to an agreement, it is good to try, but don't spend a prolonged amount of time trying to come to this agreement that's never going to be come to. We hear horror stories all the time. People come to us and they say, hey, my last attorney worked on this for a year to try to come to an agreement to the other side. And there was never a chance for an agreement. The parties were so far away from each other, they just wasted a year of time. So what you want to know is, how long are we going to try to come to an agreement before it's time to file? And when it's time to file, how long are you going to wait to file? So a lot of attorneys will give promises. They'll say, hey, look, we're going to work on an agreement for 25 days. And you say, okay, let's look on the calendar. What is day 26? Are you going to file on day 26? During the sales process, they're going to say, of course. But when you're actually working with them, you want to make sure that they keep their promises. That's another thing. Make sure that the firm you're going to work with keeps their promises. The first promise we owe you is, if we say we're going to call you at 10 a.m., the phone rings at 9:59 a.m. That's the first promise we can keep from you. The second promise we're going to keep to you is, if we tell you, hey, look, this call is just to see if we can help you out, we're not going to try to sell you legal services that we can't sell you. A lot of organizations that we've worked with have come across and said, hey, look, you've got a case out in someplace we don't represent. Well, let me go ahead and try to represent you for a settlement agreement. Again, that should raise questions because what happens if you're not going to settle? When working with a quality attorney, you can look at it as an investment. It is not how cheaply can I get this done. It is looking at the whole entirety of your estate, the time that you want to have with your children, and saying, what is it that I want from this? When you look at your estate and you look at money, it's very simple. It should be about half, right? Unless you came into the marriage with premarital assets, you're looking at about getting half of what you built during the marriage. If some attorney says, look, I'm going to get you 80%, it's probably not going to happen. Some attorney says, look, I can only get you 20%. They're probably underselling him. So you want to make a solid understanding of what can I truly get out of this. And when you're talking about the entirety of a marriage, you're talking about assets, houses, cars, bank accounts, any other coins, any mattresses. We've seen mattresses and televisions. You're also talking about debts, credit card debts, the debt owed on the car, the debt owed on the house. And you're looking at what is actually going to be split up, how much the assets are going to be split up, how much of the debt is going to be split up. If there's spousal support, what is the amount of spousal support going to look like? Children are a completely different avenue. A lot of people like to say there is no such thing as a zero-sum game. However, with children, it is a zero-sum game. Your children only have a finite time that they want to be around you. That's it. And now you're dividing up the amount of time between you and your soon-to-be ex-parent of how much time you're going to get with your children. So instead of getting 365 days, you're only going to get a fraction of that. Do not let some attorney tell you, well, I'll get you every other weekend. That's 40 days a year. That's not enough. What a cheap attorney is going to do for you, they're going to push you to do something quickly. They're going to push you to do something cheaply. They're going to push you to make shortcuts throughout your case so that it can be done quicker, quicker, quicker. We all operate on a time-based analysis where we charge for our time. So even if I'm charging you a flat fee, I have calculated that I'm only going to spend that much time on your case. That is not what you're looking for. So if you're looking for someone that truly is a partner, somebody that truly is going to listen to you, give Melone Hatley PC a call, or contact us or chat with us and see the difference that we can make for your case.